All right, this week we got just a shy over 5.5 hours in the shop this past week, 659 hours to date, and a forecasted finish date of 11/9/2030. So, um, this week started off a little hit and miss, making some progress on wingtips. Had to have Emily's help to hold those wingtips in place to get everything match drilled for the number 28 holes that had to be drilled for the screws, and realized that the screws need to be, I'm sorry, the holes in the skins need to be left as a number 40 so that you can match drill into the wing skin, the wing tips. And then when you oversize those, that's when the dimpling has to happen so you can deburr before you dimple. The problem is that you can't really dimple those for the screws that attach the wingtips because the dimpling tool is larger than the space that you have. So I hopped onto a website called Jegs and found a smaller dimpler for a number 6 so that I can get that dimpled later. And I also realized about halfway through this process that I wasn't really happy with how the right wingtip was coming together. There was a whole lot of meat for those screws to hold into, as we talked about last week, and as you guys know, I dropped it and shattered parts of it, so I said screw it, and I set it to the side and I ignored it. I've already ordered another right wingtip, and I'll get that hopefully in the next week or two, something like that from Vans, so that I can just start up with the right wingtip. But the rest of the video is me working on the left wingtip, and I am extremely happy with how that left wingtip came out. The nut plates went in beautifully. It took me a while to get the lens sized correctly. This is me working on the lens. Um, Basically, all I can say about the lens process is just be very patient. I did a whole bunch of on off, on off, on off, and got everything sized with the Dremel tool as close as I could, and then I basically sanded the rest. It's a little bit of a painstaking process, but so long as you're careful and you're diligent and you're patient, it turns out looking really, really good. I actually used the close up of that as my thumbnail this week, so you guys can see a little bit closer how that turned out. I was able to install the Fly LED light boards and get those installed as well behind the lens, and they fit beautifully once the lens was installed. So everything's together, everything's ready to rock and roll. I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to feed the power wires into the light boards, but that's a challenge for another day. As of right now, I'm just very happy with how the left wing tip came out. Next week, I should be able to work on getting that very far aft rib installed so that I can be done with the left wing tip, and then just waiting for that part to arrive for the right wing tip and get cracking on that all over again. That's it.